This week's exercise is an up-tempo slap bass groove that makes extensive use of fretting hand slaps. Let's take a look at it. So on beat 1 of the first bar, we're going to play 4 semiquavers. We're going to slap the A on the E string and hammer on to the B, so 5th and 7th frets. We're then going to slap a ghost note on the A string, and then we're going to slap the D at the 5th fret of the A string. Okay, now it's really important that you fret that D on the A string with your first finger, which is probably what you're doing anyway, because it's the most natural thing to do. Okay, so moving into beat 2, we're going to follow that D by performing a fretting hand slap. And this is why it was important that you fretted the D with the first finger, because we're going to use the other 3 fingers on the fretting hand to come in and play a ghost note slap. Now these feel much more natural if you follow a slapped or a popped note. It's a bit strange to do them in isolation like that. Okay, so that ghost note is the first note of beat 2. We're going to follow that by slapping a C sharp at the 4th fret. We're then going to play another ghost note with the fretting hand, and then we're going to move down and slap the B at the 2nd fret of the A string, and that completes beats 1 and 2. So I'm going to play those 2 beats together because they make a bit more sense as a unit rather than individually. Okay, so moving into beat 3, the last thing we played was that B down at the 2nd fret. The first thing we do on beat 3 is play another ghost note with the fretting hand. We then slap the B one more time, another fretting hand slap, and then we're going to play a ghost note with the thumb. So 4 notes on beat 3. We have fretting hand slap, ghost note, the B, another fretting hand slap, and then we play a ghost note with the thumb. And again, this makes a lot more sense when you actually add it into the line. Okay, that brings us on to the 4th and final beat of the bar. So here we're just going to play a hammer on from B to C sharp, and then we're going to hit the low G on the E string, like so. So the first bar is going to sound like this. And again. Okay, let's move on to the second bar. So in this bar, we're going to be riffing on the open E string and playing a continuous semiquaver bass line using notes with the thumb and interspersing that with fretting hand slaps. So I'll go through this beat by beat. So on the first beat of the bar, we're going to play an open E string with the thumb. We're then going to play a fretting hand slap, dead note with the thumb, and then another open E. So 4 notes: open E, fretting hand slap, dead note with the thumb, and then open E again. Moving on to the second beat of the bar, we're going to open this beat with a fretting hand slap. That's going to directly follow the open E that we just played. Fretting hand slap, 2 dead notes with the thumb, and then we're going to pop the D at the 7th fret of the G string. Let me stick beats 1 and 2 together for you. And again. Okay, moving into the third beat of the bar, we're going to follow that popped note, which hopefully you'll have fretted with your first finger, and that's going to leave the other 3 fingers free to perform the fretting hand slap. We're going to start with a fretting hand slap, then we're going to play the open E, so another fretting hand slap, and then another dead note with the thumb, like so. That brings us on to beat 4. This one's a little bit easier. We're just going to open with an open E string played with the thumb, fretting hand slap, and then 2 ghost notes played with the thumb. Okay, so bar 2 is going to sound like this. And again. Okay, let's move on to the second half of the exercise. Now, bar 3 is going to be exactly the same as bar 1, so we're going to move straight ahead into bar 4. Now, bar 4 is a similar kind of idea to bar 2. We're going to be playing continuous 16th semiquaver based riffing in E, but this time we're going to throw in some semiquaver triplets to make the line a little bit more exciting. So we're going to open the bar in the same way as we did bar 2. So open E string, fretting hand slap, dead note slap, open E string. That gives us beat 1. And again. Then on beat 2, we're going to follow that open E string with a fretting hand slap and a dead note. That's the first half of beat 2. Now on the second half of beat 2, we're going to play a triplet. And this is played with two hands working in sync with each other. So we're going to be playing an open E string, fretting hand slap, and then a dead note with the thumb. And because we're splitting the work between the two hands, you should find that it's quite easy to build that up to high speeds. Okay, now that triplet is really just a prelude to what happens on the third beat of the bar. And this is where we're going to play some more semiquaver triplets. So the first thing that we're going to do is pop the D at the 7th fret of the G string. Keep your first finger on that note. We're then going to perform a fretting hand slap and then a dead note with the thumb. That's our triplet. And again, because we're splitting the work between the two hands, you should find that you can build that up to quite high speeds. Okay, so that's what we do on the first half of beat 3. On the second half, we're going to do exactly the same thing, except we move the fretted note down to the C sharp. And that brings us on to the fourth beat of the bar, where we're just going to pop the D again. We're going to play a hammer on to the E at the 9th fret, and then we're going to follow that with an open E string, like so. So bar 4 is going to sound like this. And again. Okay, that brings us to the end of the exercise. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the latest instalment in my Bass Lick of the Week series. As ever, you can download the PDF worksheet and backing track by clicking on the link below, and please do let me know your thoughts in the comments box. I'll see you next week for another bass groove.